Today's dinner benefits from having prepped my vegetables ahead. I have 1.5 pounds of carrots peeled and cut into 3-inch pieces and 4 or 5 heads of fennel. It's gonna be a pork roast with fennel and carrots and lemon. Delish. Wait till you see how easy it is. For today, what you need to do is cut 2 lemons in half. All my prep is done. I mean, the lemons go in a baking sheet and then add those veg that you already prepped. 4 or 5 heads of fennel cut into 1-inch wedges. 1.5 pounds of carrots peeled and cut into 3-inch pieces. Now this is gonna look like a lot for just tonight's dinner, but you're gonna save some of these vegetables for later in the week. Drizzle with oil. 1 tablespoon if you're feeling chubby, 2 tablespoons if you're feeling lean. Sprinkle with salt, pepper, toss, and then just make sure that they're in as even of a layer as possible. And then you want to roast these at 425 degrees for about 25 minutes. And then you can get your pork ready. You need a 2-pound pork loin. Pork loin is a very lean meat, but it's covered with a cap of fat. This one's got a very thick cap of fat, so I'm going to get rid of some of it. I do like a little bit of fat on my pork loin because it keeps it nice and moist while it's roasting. You can always take it off after the fact, but of course, I happen to like eating a little bit of pork fat, but not tons. Be reasonable. Now what you want to do is sprinkle with a teaspoon of coriander. I like to just sort of rub it all over. For the best and most even cooking, you want to tie your pork loin and just make sure that it's nice and tight and holds the shape compactly. That's the idea. You want everything compact and it makes it cook more evenly. Cut 4 pieces of string, prox, 3 or 4. You know, obviously, a lot of times when you buy pork loin, you've probably seen it, it's already tied for you. Lucky you. But you can tie your own with butcher's twine that you buy at the supermarket. Tie at 1-inch intervals. Make sure it's nice and tight. That's what's gonna hold it together and make it so that your pork loin cooks evenly. And then season with salt and pepper, nice and generously. Anything that gets all over your board, just rub it right up with the pork. There's an official method for you. After 25 minutes, you're gonna add this pork loin to your roasting vegetables. And I think mine are ready to check. Why, yes indeed, look at that. They're already starting to turn nice and golden. Just move the vegetables aside. The pork needs to cook until it's 138 degrees in the very center, so use an instant read thermometer, but that should take about 30-35 more minutes. Put your pork right in the center, and then back in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. When my pork came out of the oven, I tented it with foil, and now I'm just letting it rest for 10 or 15 minutes so the juices recirculate, and then it's time to eat. Slice up your pork. I like to slice mine nice and thin. Remove the strings before you slice or try to cut around them. I don't know, whatever works for you. Use a sharp knife. I think that if you slice the pork nice and thin, it's the nicest way to eat pork loin like this. And try not to overcook it, because overcooked pork loin is really dry and icky, and perfectly cooked pork loin is actually quite delicious. Okay, it's all cut up. Take your vegetables and put them on a platter. Save 3 cups for later in the week. It's about half. Half the vegetables are for today and half the vegetables are for later in the week. And then pork onto the platter. Gorge. Oh my God, beautiful. How happy are you? And look at that magnificence. Weekend dinner during the week? I say yes, because prep ahead and leave it alone in the oven, and you can just go about your day, and then this is the result.